Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be taking a look at Narma. She is a champ that I've always thought was really cool, and a lot of people, again, we have this thing with a lot of these legendaries where people seem bummed when they pull her or they ask about her and everybody's like, no, she sucks, put her in the vault. I disagree. I'm a big fan. I use Narma quite a bit on this account, so I'm going to show you all the ways that I use her, talk about some of the things that I think she could potentially be good at, and we'll talk about gear and builds and why mine's built the way she is and all of these things. I think she's a really solid champ. I get a lot of utility out of her in a few places in the game. The reason that she's built the way that she is currently on this account is because she's one of my DPS for my ultimate budget unkillable clan boss teams. I've got it set up for different affinities. I use her against Spirit, obviously, and I also use her against Magic. And then I believe I run her in Void, too. I think she and Geo are my Void team. I think I run my Magic team against Void. So that's the reason that she's the speed that she is, and the reason that I've tried to stack up a little bit of damage on her where I was able. We've got plenty of accuracy, so that's not an issue. And then, you know, her stats fit into the mold of a DPS for the budget unkillable. But ordinarily, you could just tank her up a bit, keep the accuracy, get her fast, and you don't have to worry so much about the crit stats unless you wanted to try her in a DPS spot for your clan boss team. Because as you'll see, she puts up pretty big numbers. I'll show you the damage here in a little bit. So what we did was we put Perception on her. We put a Divine Crit Rate set again just to try to get the stats for Clan Boss, and then just a little bit of a broken set. As far as sets go, Perception's a fantastic one for her. She probably wouldn't be too bad in a Reflex set, to be honest. Relentless would probably also be pretty good for her. Anything that helps her get through her skills a little bit quicker. Let's go in and talk about her skills real quick. We've got an A1, 40% chance of increasing the duration of 3 random debuffs on the target by 1 turn. I haven't booked this out. I got pretty lucky with my books. Although, the more that I'm using her in Clan Boss, the more I think that this extra 20% would actually be pretty nice. I feel like if this was happening a little bit more frequently, she would keep a lot of those debuffs on longer, and our damage would go up even from where it is now, which is already pretty substantial. Again, I'll show you what kind of damage she's outputting. But just in general, I think our damage across the team would go up if she was doing this a little bit more often. Right now, she's doing it a little less than half the time, obviously. So to go from a little less than half the time to a little more than half the time, I think would make a pretty big difference. So I'm going to say, I don't think that the books here would be a waste if you're using her for that, right? If you're counting on that debuff extension, then I probably would say she might be worth the books here. I may even come back and dump some books into her A1, to be honest, because I don't plan on phasing her out anytime soon. Her A2, we've got a attack, 75% chance of placing a decreased attack for 3 turns. Also heals all allies by 15% of her max HP. And the heal is increased by 2% for each poison debuff on the target. So now we've got an attack down for 3 turns. A 3-turn attack down is pretty nice on a 3-turn cooldown. That means you could keep it up permanently, especially with her A1 potentially extending it in a team where you needed the attack down. So she doesn't have to be in an unkillable to contribute to a clan boss team. And if you tank her HP up high enough, she's got a pretty beefy heal that also increases based on how many poisons are on the enemy. She's responsible for a good bit of poisons, and then if you're running her with another poisoner, this heal could chunk up quite a bit, right? You can also, again, you get it down to a 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance to put the attack down, so it's just relying on accuracy. This is fantastic. This is one of the things where I don't understand why people are so anti-Narma. I think that she's so cool. If I had her on my main account, I would probably try to build a non-unkillable clan boss team with her in it as my attack down, since she would be such a reliable thing for that. She's doing so many things. There's no wasted skill here from Narma. And now I disable this in my run because I don't need an attack down, right? I don't need the extra debuff. I don't need the attack down. But in a clan boss team that's not unkillable, she'd be fantastic, man. She's extending debuffs. She's putting up a very reliable attack down permanently. She's healing. She's healing more based on poisons that you're stacking. And then with the A3, she's stacking poisons heavily, right? Attacks one enemy, 75% chance of placing 3 5% poison debuffs and a poison sensitivity for 3 turns. Her debuffs go up for 3 turns. You can get this down to a 4-turn cooldown, and with books, it goes up to 100%. So now you've got a champion that only needs accuracy, right? Skill 2 and 3, there's no chance to proc involved. Once you book her up, it's going to proc, win the accuracy roll. Stack the accuracy on her. She's going to land 3 poisons and a poison sensitivity. She's going to land the attack down. And if you book this up, more than half the time, she's going to extend debuffs, right? Up to 3 debuffs. or 3 debuffs. I'm sorry, not up to 3. It will be 3. She's killer all around. So a very well designed, in my opinion, clan boss champ. Again, I don't need the A2, so I disable it for my clan boss teams. But if I ever pull her on my main, I am going to play around with her and see about how she performs as an attack down, what her support's like, and then still you can get really good damage out of her with all these poisons that she's going to be stacking and potentially extending. And then to top it all off, she's got an accuracy lead for dungeons. So really solid champ, right? She can help you bring down bosses quicker. I use her a lot in Doom Tower. Again, fantastic for clan boss. I don't know that I would use her very much in any PvP content, but that's okay. Some champs are just PvE, and I think she's a great example of a really nice PvE champ that people are hating on, and you need to stop it. You need to cut it out right now, okay? As far as Masteries go, we did it again. It does it every time now. Masteries. This is the Mastery setup for the clan boss team that we're using her in, right? She's in the unkillable, so we have to be really careful about things that affect her turn meter. We don't want anything doing that. So basically what we did here is we bumped her accuracy up. We gave her Lore of Steel. She doesn't really need this. I'm sorry. This one, the extend is fantastic for her because she's already putting stuff up for so long. Now she's got a chance to put it up for 4 turns. This she doesn't really need, but like, you know, whatever. Not a big deal. Here, we just an opportunity for her to throw the A3 out a little bit more often. But again, different setups, different situations would call for different things. I think this is still pretty fine for her for the way that you're going to be using her. You definitely want to bump her accuracy up. You definitely want to let her extend her debuffs. And then over here, you might as well just give her War Master so that she can contribute that max HP damage to the clan boss, to the dungeon bosses, to the Doom Tower bosses, right? Just blah, so that on top of the poisons, she can help you chip away with those War Master procs occasionally. So I think she's fantastic. I think I pulled her relatively early on in this account and started using her pretty quickly. At no point have I ever even almost regretted the books I've put in her. I haven't regretted the time I spent doing her masteries. Nothing. I'm still using her. I have no plans to phase her out anytime soon. I am a big fan of this champion. So what I'm going to do now is I'll show you the clan boss damage. I'll let you. I'm not going to show you a clan boss run. I'm just going to show you the damage, and then I'll let you see what she looks like. I use her in my Ice Golem 24 team. I use her in my Dragon 24 team, and that is what else? Oh, in Doom Tower. But actually, I will. I'll see if I can't go get. A lot of Doom Tower's not open right now, right? I'm only in the 30s right now, I think. So I can't go and show you all my teams from the other bosses. But there are bosses that I do use her on. So just know that she's also pretty solid for Doom Tower as well in some situations. But even if you're just getting clan boss and then again Ice Golem and Dragon out of her, that's fine. So again, we'll hop over now to the gameplay footage. I'll pop in if at any point I think there's anything I think you should focus on specifically. If I feel like there's anything that I need to say, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye now. Like the video if you get anything out of this. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Click the subscribe button, you know? I appreciate you guys watching. Hope it helped, and we'll see you later. Quick note on that clan boss damage. If for anybody that's been following the Free to Succeed series, you'll know that we've reworked our team and things are a little different. Narma's still in it and still pumping out great damage, but I just wanted to note that things are different than that key, but she's still very consistent. Here we've got an Ice Golem 24 run, and it is not fast, and I know that we have some other really good champs in here, so by no means am I trying to tell you that Narma is carrying this dungeon. I just want you to see how I'm using her and how she contributes what she's bringing to the fight. Between her and Bad L, the poison sensitivity is really handy. You'll see her damage output at the end of this run is on par with Bad L and Ignatius, who are pumping out pretty good damage as well with their poisons and with his HP burn and stuff. So again, she's not carrying the run, but she is contributing fairly well, and it's a free to play. So I know it's a long run, but it's free to play, and it's stage 24, and it's 100% reliable. Now you'll notice at the boss, she is going to go down once, and that's why generally you want to bring a reviver anyway. But I also want to note she is positive affinity. The reason that she goes down is because I have to have her stats so low for her to work in the clan boss team, right? If I had the freedom to just beef her up as much as I wanted and make her HP and defense high, she wouldn't have gone down. But because of the way that I have to have her built for clan boss, she's a little bit squishier, which is why I like to run her with Duchess or somebody that can bring her back if things go south. But anyway, that's it. I'm done rambling over this run. Enjoy it. And then again, similar to the Ice Golem run, it's a Dragon 24 run, a little bit on the slower side, but again, we're free to play. And again, in no way am I saying that she's carrying the run, but she's doing a lot for us at the boss, right? She's keeping the attack down up. She's dropping poisons, which are allowing Bad El's poisons to do more. I'm sorry, she's dropping poison sensitivity, which is allowing Bad El's poisons to do more. So attack down on the dragon is huge, very helpful. Poison sensitivity, so Bad El can do more, contributing very heavily once we get to the boss and helping us chip down these waves as it goes too. So not a fast run. She's not carrying, but I wanted you to see that she's contributing and she is getting used, right? Very solid option for a progression style team, right? We're not in a situation yet where we can speed run these dungeons, so she is a very nice stand-in for a progression style team.